Hi everyone, join me, Ashley Esqueda, and my co-host Michael Hobbs as we talk about dual-core smartphones, Windows Phone 7, epic win, epic fail, and this amazing shirt. It's This Week in Mobile, and it's happening right now. Hey everybody, I'm Ashley Esqueda, and welcome to another edition of This Week in Mobile. As always, my fantastic co-host, Michael J. Hobbs Jr. joins us in studio.
Hi, Ashley.
How are you?
I'm great today.
Do you have a nice Labor Day weekend?
Yeah.
Did you labor?
I didn't labor at all.
Me neither. It was great.
I think we did the same thing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing. Shopping and eating.
The same nothing. So lots of stuff happening this week, just random stuff. Like apparently this morning, Windows Phone 7 had this crazy funeral thing. We don't have it in the rundown, so I just want to talk about it really briefly. But Windows Phone 7 Microsoft had this funeral procession for Apple, for iPhone, and BlackBerry.
Right.
Because it was like, BlackBerry and Apple are dead. Long live Windows Phone 7, because it's RTM now. So. Right. That was kind of weird, and they all danced Thriller in the streets of D.C., right? It was in Washington, D.C.
But that's what I didn't know. I didn't know where it was. I thought maybe it was in Seattle.
I thought it was in D.C.,
okay.
But I'm not sure. Maybe it was in Seattle. But I saw the clip, and it was just...
I don't get it, really. It's a strange thing.
Kudos to them for doing something interesting that hasn't been done before, but it was really weird.
I guess, but why not Android? Why wasn't Android in the mix? There was
I talked about that. I said, did you notice that they did not mention Android?
Death to BlackBerry and iPhone only.
Not Nokia or Android, which today was projected to take over the #2 global market share by the end of, I think, next year.
Though I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah.
But speaking of Nokia, also today, this also isn't in the rundown, but kind of big news, the head of Nokia is going to be replaced.
30 years.
After 30 years.
Put in his time.
Put in his, what's his name, OPK? His
OPK,
initials.
that's what we're going to call him, because we cannot pronounce his name.
Which we don't want to ruin. And he's getting replaced by somebody that's from Microsoft. A guy called Matthew Ellip, I think, who was head of their business division. Yeah. So it's strange.
Kind of a big deal. Someone to step
deal.
Down after 30 years. Long time, so.
I mean, they're a huge company.
Big
They've been a great success, but they've been struggling to be relevant in the smartphone world, so.
Well, Mike, this week I saw something. We're going to do epic win, epic fail this week. I just want everyone to know. People missed it last time. It was kind of sad.
Oh, that's right.
But I often see mobile things that are not necessarily cell phone related, and I have included one in this weekend, or an epic win, epic fail this week.
I think that's a fine trend.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the news. So lots of interesting things coming from Apple this week. I'm always curious as to your opinion on these. Apple has relaxed their cross-compiler restrictions, so Adobe-made apps are now okay. Like you can make apps now for the iPhone in Flash.
Well, that are based on, they don't use Flash.
Yeah, they don't use Flash.
But they can be built in Flash, and they can be compiled to work on the iPhone. And they also, they relaxed it to include third-party engines, so things like the Unreal Engine. Those are fine to use now. So, there were restrictions on that before. And
amazing that they're relaxing. I mean, I understand the relaxing of the engines, because obviously with the gaming coming up, they're going to have.
It's focused on gaming.
Focused on gaming. But the cross compiler for being able to build something in Adobe, kind of a big deal. I
think they went hand in hand with this, just opening things up more for game developers.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of it. So many wanted that, and they're doing that. I think that's good.
And for all of our viewers, we have a couple people in the chat room that are already saying this. For all of our viewers, unfortunately, your fart app will no longer make the Apple market unless it's revolutionary or magical, as it were. Because Apple said they don't need any more fart apps.
Well, that was the second part of the Apple news this week, was they released, which of these had been private, or maybe even they had not even written them
Very
yet,
much so.
But they finally released what their guidelines are for developers when it comes to apps, and why they reject certain things. And they're kind of strange and funny. I think a lot of people think Steve Jobs probably wrote a lot of these himself.
By hand. I always imagine they're on not tablets like iPad, but like stone tablets, and it's like a very Mount Sinai thing where handed down from Steve Jobs.
And some of these are pretty good. I mean, maybe you want to read some of the more amusing
go
guidelines.
ahead. You've got a couple of really good ones there.
Well, you mentioned the one about the fart apps. And then the ones that say, like, if it looks like your app was cobbled together in a few days, or if you're trying to get your first practice app into the store, please brace yourself for rejection. They're not interested in amateur hour, which is a popular theme with Steve.
I just want to say, Steve, I take offense to that, all right? I understand this is not exactly amateur hour, but we're not network television. And so when he went up there for Apple TV and was like, "This is not amateur hour," I was really upset. I felt like he was directly speaking to me, and I was mad.
All right, continue. Don't take it personally. But
I do take it very. That's why he goes straight to voicemail on my cell phone. Please continue.
And also, no games that depict Russian roulette. They don't like.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Don't submit any apps that have Russian roulette.
Okay. What if it shoots? What if you are like, oh, let's play a game where I have a carousel and then it'll shoot a cookie in your face.
Do you die at the end of it?
Well, that's no, but you don't die at the end of a Russian roulette.
Well, that's where also the thing. There's a lot of there are a lot of words like may and could.
With all the magic flying around Apple, you would think that they would realize what make-believe is.
Still, and they alluded to the fact that a lot of kids download apps.
Yeah, Robinhood wants to know, what about chat roulette?
So
that's sort of like Russian roulette, but with SEX.
Well, that app has been rejected for having potentially pornographic elements.
Potentially?
Those kind of
Guaranteed.
Are out.
Okay, continue.
So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. So I mean, just some weird rules.
The one thing I dislike about that is just really briefly, I don't like the fact that it's sort of. It says that if your app looks like it's cobbled together in a couple days, okay. I get that maybe somebody might throw something together in a couple days, but if someone's learning how to develop an app for the iPhone, apparently, they don't want that anymore.
Well, I'm fine with that.
So I think that sort of opens the door to somebody using something like App Inventor, for example, on Google. Or for Android, and saying, okay, well, I'm going to work hard on making this app. Like the guy we had who created the scheduling.
The Diacarta.
Diacarta. He has no programming experience.
Right.
And so if that guy were to have cobbled together an app because he did not have the knowledge to make it as polished as it is now, they would reject that.
I think
that seems unfortunate to me.
I disagree completely, because as an end user, why expose the end user to these sort of apps that are not by professionals, they're not finished? You're just going to mess the marketplace up. I think this is fine. I think
you're going to mess the marketplace up for all of those polished turd apps.
Which there are anyway.
All right. Good for them for releasing information. I mean, that's one thing that they're pretty tight on, and so good for them on that.
They're trying to become more transparent, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone,
we'll see how that goes.
Everyone likes that. For what reason, who knows what their motivation is, but they're doing it.
Yeah. So RIM, we read about this a couple weeks ago. It was rumored that RIM had purchased DataViz, who makes Documents to Go, and actually RIM confirmed this week that they did purchase DataViz. So that'll be a really brief story, but I just want to let everybody know that I'm just curious as to where. And you're more than welcome to chime in the chat room or tweet us at Android Ashley or at Valis23. Tell us what you think about what's going to happen with this, because it would be very interesting to see if they're going to lock down other versions of Documents to Go and say, well, Documents to Go, because BlackBerry is known as sort of the business phone, even though it doesn't necessarily have to be, a lot of people consider it the businessman's phone.
Right. But they're trying to change that image, but we'll get to
They're trying to change that image, but that's very much the thing about BlackBerry. It's it's for business. It's a business user's phone.
Getting things done,
Yeah, getting things done. And so for me, this purchase of DataViz is very interesting, because Documents to Go, I love Documents to Go on my phone. I use it a lot. And I am very curious as to whether or not that's going to get locked down at some point and say, okay, well, we're going to expand, not necessarily cut back the other versions, but we're going to expand the version at, on BlackBerry.
That's possible. I mean, it's also huge.
To try to draw more people to the
I don't know.
service.
Will they come just because of that? I mean, the app is very big on iPhone too, as well.
Yeah.
And so as long as they're making money with that, they'd be silly to stop making those versions.
That's true.
I don't know what advantage they would get locking it down.
Yeah.
But the companies do weird things.
They do. They do indeed do weird things.
So they might think this is their play for trying to stay relevant somehow, having this
Perhaps.
portable document service.
Maybe. Well, it might be just a play for. It might be just a play for something along the lines of maybe Google is making some sort of Documents to Go where you can use Google Docs.
Oh, well, I don't know if Google would like that.
Some sort of.
Because as of now, you can't edit Google Docs on mobile devices.
No. But that's what I'm saying. Like maybe Google will put something in maybe like 3.0 or Honeycomb where it's going to be like right now we have Google Voice, we have Google, we have all these Google services on our Android phones, and you have some, not to the extent that Android users do, but it's not a total leap to say that they might release Google Docs for Android phones to download, just like they have Google Voice to download. So
which would sidestep documents to go.
It would very much sidestep documents to go, but it would also give RIM a reason to have bought DataViz.
And then make it proprietary? Make it their own?
Yeah. I think it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, it might work for them.
So Windows Phone 7, I'm very, let me tell you, I'm very curious about how this Windows Phone 7 launch is going to go, because I think that there's people that are on one side of the fence who are just like, this is gonna be huge, huge. And then there's people on the other side of the fence that are going to be like, too little, too late, don't care, can't be bothered, don't want to deal with it. But Windows Phone 7, they released their first major ad for a big full ad for Windows Phone 7.
Kind of a teaser, really.
It's it's the first ad that I think has been pushed very globally, I guess.
Yeah. Well, is this the one that played before Lawrence of Arabia? You talking about the teaser?
I think
the Secret Cinema one.
I believe so. So we have that video. It's they promised the revolution is coming. So let's take a look at that. Look at that beautiful Metro UI.
Interesting.
It's very interesting. It's different.
The ad was before a screening of Lawrence of Arabia in the UK.
Weird.
Secret Cinema.
Totally
very
weird.
Obscure.
You know what I learned from that ad?
What?
That my Windows Phone 7 phone. My Windows Phone 7 phone.
Oh, ridiculous.
The name is sounds
dumb.
Awful.
It's still bad.
My Windows Phone will levitate. That's what I learned from that.
Oh.
I'm very curious to see how that goes, though. The first Samsung Windows Phone 7 phone leaked. That is going to annoy me till the end of the earth.
Windows Phone 7 phone?
Yeah, Windows Phone 7 phone.
It's bad.
And though, the first Samsung phone leaked for Windows Phone 7, and it does not look unfortunate. It actually looks very nice.
It looks pretty cool.
It looks very streamlined.
Like it had a neat shape.
The only pictures that they had were watermarked by the fine people at Gizmodo.com, so you can go over there and check it out if you would like, but we would like to avoid lawsuits. And so we don't like to steal watermark.
No, but it looks. Take your word for it.
It doesn't look
good.
bad. Yeah, I think it looks very nice.
But it needs to be they need to all be home runs to make people notice
It's got to be. Yeah, they've got to be.
Looks like something.
Something a little bit more. That's what it needs to be.
Unless Metro wows people.
Microsoft, if you want that ad campaign slogan, just something a little more. It's a little bit more.
Yeah, it's not worse than Blackberries.
Yeah. Oh, it can't be. Nothing can be better. Nothing can be worse than that.
Nope.
All right. So let's talk about JD Power. Our headline for this in the rundown is JD Power's call quality comparison tells us what we already know, which is that AT&T sucks.
It's the best, though.
It's the best? I'm sorry, did you say the best?
The best.
I think you meant the second worst.
The best coverage in the country. I've seen those ads.
Oh, I know. And the internet everything on the internet is true. I don't know if you heard that. I saw that on the internet somewhere.
I am aware of this.
I think it was on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah.
But JD Power did their annual call quality comparison amongst wireless people, and they are companies. They didn't call Mike, unfortunately, and that's why AT&T made number 3 out of the top 4. Or was it 5? We have the graph. Let's take a look at the graph here. Okay, so we have Verizon Wireless at number 1. Basically, the lower score reflects fewer problems and higher call quality.
Okay.
So Verizon Wireless got the highest score. Got 5 stars from JD Power. Sprint, surprisingly, because Sprint gets a pretty bad rap, came in second. And then this is Northeast region average. So they did an average of the Northeast region. So this is out in tri-state area. AT&T came in third, and T-Mobile really up there. But both AT&T and T-Mobile got 2 stars. And just not very good.
That's pretty low.
Pretty bad, especially for the Northeast region, which is kind of a big deal.
That's
the tri-state area, very populated, needs to happen. Yeah. So I agree with OMT66. Go Sprint. Yay, yay, yay.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I'm glad. Well, I'm glad because, you know, for a long time, Verizon, Sprint's customer service was awful. Like, I mean, it was really bad.
Well,
I lived through it. I lived through that period where I had my Sprint phone and.
With your
long time ago.
Yeah.
This was like 8-10 years ago.
Well, that's about call quality and customer service. Is that what that was about?
No, I think it's just call quality.
Call quality in terms of drop calls or the quality of the voice coming through the.
I think it's a little bit of both. Like it was call quality and also the amount of drop calls, like based on that average, that Northeast average.
I see.
So yeah, go Verizon and Sprint. That's pretty cool.
I guess so.
And AT&T and T-Mobile, you have some work to do.
They still have work to do, especially AT&T.
Have a little work to do.
I got work to do.
Speaking of AT&T,
yeah.
they're just not. AT&T is just not having a very good couple of months. You know, I mean, the iPhone thing aside, I mean, which is great, but even then, with Antenna-Gate, that's been a problem. Yeah. AT&T has now said that BlackBerry Torch sales we're shocked, disappointing, and they are now focusing, RIM is now focusing on media and individualization in their new BlackBerry Torch ad, which I'm not really sure why.
I think the ad makes it clear why.
Yeah, it's sort of, yeah, anyway. But so AT&T, BlackBerry Torch, not doing well. Not at all. No. I mean, pretty badly. For a corporation to come out and say it's doing disappointing
it has to be really bad.
Pretty bad.
Otherwise, they would just say nothing or say it's fine.
Yeah, so RIM's now rolling out this new ad. So we have that too. Let's check that out.
I'm a legal courier. If I have to look at multiple cases with BlackBerry Torch, I can have multiple tabs going, scroll over to it, and there it is.
I'm not always going to have 2 turntables and a mixer. I love the music player on the Torch. To create a playlist on your phone is amazing.
I call it a future phone. It's awesome.
I am not sure about anybody else who just watched that, but first of all, the guy on the bike is an iPhone user. Let's all be honest there.
What?
Yes. Secondly, number 2, nothing that they did in those commercials you can't do on an iPhone or an Android phone or a Windows Phone 7 phone or...
You can make a playlist. You could scroll over.
Oh, you can make a playlist.
I don't know what else he was doing.
That's almost like Apple saying, we have folders now.
Hey, it's a real feature.
It is a big feature.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, so much for the business slant. Now they want young, individualistic.
Which I think
people.
Is a terrible idea. RIM, stop what you're doing right now. You cannot lose your older, business-oriented fan base, which is what it is. Mm-hmm. You cannot lose those people to the younger crowd because, first of all, we have the attention span of gnats. So this is not the crowd of people to be appealing to pick up your sales on the Torch. I'm very this is not a good idea. I don't think this is a good idea at all. What do you think?
I think that's all they know how to. That's all they know what to do.
I think they're just panicking.
A little bit.
It feels like a little bit of panic to me. A little bit of panic at the disco, if you will.
I like that.
So iOS 4.1 went live this week. You were very excited about this.
I was excited about this, whereas Steve always calls it like 4 dot whatever. It's 4.1, so I'm calling it 4.1. 4.1 was released, and the 2 big headline features, Game Center, got turned on, which is really cool, because now it's like you got a little Xbox Live experience for the games that use it. The games are getting updated all the time, and you can there's leaderboards, achievements, and stuff like this.
We're going to show this, right? You're going to show us a little bit of 4.1.
Let's take a look at
let's go to the iPhone tab.
I'm going to launch Game Center. So look, here's Game Center. Here's some of the games that I've been playing. Here's Miss Pac-Man, which I've been playing. So look, see, this shows last time I played it. Shows my rank on the leaderboard against other people in the world. I'm number 579 out of 1,500 players.
Well, that's not bad.
Right in the meat there. So you can follow that stuff, and if your friends have it...
You're almost in the top third.
You can
that's pretty good.
Follow your friends like that. So yeah, so that's how Game Center is. And I don't have any friends yet. It's pretty depressing. I was going to add Brady, but he wasn't available. So that's Game Center.
This one's probably still broken.
There's going to be more multiplayer games coming on where you can actually play live, like racing games and stuff. There's a couple now. There was nothing great that I wanted yet, so we'll show.
Nothing crazy. But you have Game of the Week this week, so.
Right. And then, the other thing I was going to show real quick, the camera, because they've added HDR option to the camera. And this is something we're going to go more in depth in, I think, next week.
Yeah.
But now, if you look at the camera app, after 4.1, there's a little button here at the top. It's really hard to see.
Oh, you can turn it on or off.
HDR on or off. And HDR photo will take 3 photos in quick succession. Let's try it here. An underexposed, an overexposed, and then the main picture. And then combine all 3. to give you a photo with hopefully extended dynamic range. So it'll bring out shadows and highlights.
Yeah, we have a very enterprising Twitterer told me this week that we had, my head's blurry. I look like I'm possessed.
Moving, so let's get out of that.
A very enterprising Twitterer told me that Camera 360, yeah, CPL Wilson is telling me this too, has HDR and has HDR as well. So if you are on Android and you want to pick up Camera 360, you can do so, and it has HDR. We're going to do an app versus app. We're going to actually do some HDR photography next week.
Yeah, straight comparisons.
Yeah, some straight comparisons. I won't be here next week, so 2 weeks.
Damn it, so you got to wait 2 weeks for that.
I know.
Everybody.
Just so everyone knows, Michael Ludden will be hosting in my shoes.
Your stead.
My super awesome shoes. Yeah, Photo Enhance Pro, I believe. That's the name of the other app. He's going to be hosting Michael Ludden's going to be hosting next week. So, but I'll be back the week after that. It'll be fine.
And there are also standalone HDR apps for the iPhone, but now that it's built into the camera, the stock one, you might as well. That's what we'll compare.
Might as well use that, right?
And it's free.
So, yeah, kind of cool. And then, and also, if you are using an iPhone, there is a boot ROM exploit that has been found, and so jailbreak should be coming soon.
Imminently, although
4.1 or whatever you want to call it.
4.1. I think jailbreaking is
so pretentious.
It's losing, I think, relevance on the iPhone.
Let's talk about WebOS 2.0.
Okay.
I'm really excited. Okay, I seriously, again, I'm a big champion of WebOS. I think it's great. My two favorite OSs, WebOS, Android, definitely. So I had some screenshots, but Mike failed, and somehow they didn't get uploaded onto our Dropbox. So we're just going to talk about how awesome it is. A whole slew of WebOS 2.0 screenshots hit the web, and they look really nice. Like, there's some really interesting options. They even had an option for like picking accounts to drop files into. They had like Dropbox, they had MobileMe, they had a whole bunch of stuff, which was great.
That looked great.
I think that's really cool. And then they had the stacks, obviously, which look really great. I am very excited about. I'm excited about the prospect of a WebOS tablet.
Yes.
That's honestly HP. That's where I think the money is for you and Palm. It really is.
I'm worried about HP in that equation.
Yeah, I worry a little about HP because. Is
that a good segue? Is that next?
I think so. Let's talk about tablets a little bit.
Okay.
Samsung, makers of the Galaxy Tab. Very nice.
The first legitimate Android tablet.
The first legitimate competitor, I would say, to the iPad.
Google has come out, they came out, I think, today or yesterday and said that there was really nothing in 2.2 that's designed to work on a tablet. And they weren't really endorsing any of these, even the Tab, even though it has access to the marketplace. Well,
one of my Twitter followers, GamerCore, he had said, that's what Chrome OS is for. Like, it's intended to run on a tablet. Like,
perhaps.
That's his opinion.
Oh, really? But I don't see a future for Google following that. I mean, surely they're going to want to get Gingerbread.
If they can integrate it great with Android, then I think that there's something to that. But yeah, see, it's not enhanced for tablets. That's 2.2 is not enhanced for tablets. But I can't imagine that they wouldn't make 3.0 some kind of, or Honeycomb. It just depends on how fast they start rolling out tablets, like the official Google Verizon Android tablet or whatever.
But if they're going to make that, I don't know why they would, again, bother with the Chrome one. They need to just focus on Android.
I think it's going to be a little bit of both until it's like kind of hedging their bets.
Because they've already got so many apps and they know how to develop on the Android.
Yeah,
just scale it up like Apple's done.
But anyway, Samsung says they vowed, I'm not even going to say said, they vowed to ship 10 million Galaxy Tabs and grab a third of the tablet market by the end of the year.
End of 2011.
No.
All right, you're still really.
They said by the end of the year.
That just doesn't seem. That's impossible.
I thought the quote said by the end of the year they were going to sell 10 million tablets.
Fiscal year,
maybe by the end
will
of the fiscal year.
I think March.
Which is like March. Okay, I'll buy that.
But even then.
But seriously, I agree, Glenn. Bold words from them.
I mean, Apple shipped how many in the first month?
A lot.
3-4 million.
Yeah.
Something like this.
But not.
But I don't know how they're going
I don't know.
Ship this kind of unknown. I don't know.
It's kind of crazy.
But they haven't announced the pricing and all that stuff.
Yeah, they haven't announced pricing. It's between $200 and $300. They sure might.
That'll help.
That would help a lot. So next tablet, which this is what we were talking about with WebOS, the HP Zine was spotted, which is sort of this weird Android hybrid. Like,
it runs 2.1.
It runs 2.1.
It's a tablet. It comes with a printer.
It comes with a print or a printer. If you buy this printer, it comes with a Zine. I think that's probably the better way to put it.
Okay, sure.
It's like sort of an accessory, but you can take it off and use it like standalone. Like, it's really odd. Let me.
Let's see a picture of it, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, let's go to my laptop here. This is it. Okay.
Oh, that picture, right.
Yeah, we have this photo of it, and it's
It like docks into a big printer.
Yeah, this printer is like okay. So if we're looking at the size of this printer, it's probably about what, this big?
Yeah,
like,
it looks like it's about 3 times as wide as this tablet.
Yeah, so this tablet is probably, we can come back from that. The tablet is probably about what, this big?
I think 7 inches.
Like
around
7 inches, right around 7 inches, and then the printer is like this, and you like dock it in there. It's really weird. And so I have some concern about a WebOS tablet. Like, HP, do not mess this up. Like, you have such a good thing.
I mean, what is this? I mean, this
don't mess this up.
I can only assume they started this well before they bought Palm, and they just kind of had, this product had a bunch of momentum. They
and then they probably put a lot of money into it, and now they're just like, oh, well, now that we've bought Palm, we're just switching horses. Let's just release it and see what happens.
They had no concept of what a tablet would be in a couple of years, because it's just like, it's like this really fancy, elaborate interface for a printer. But it's also an Android tablet that runs TouchSmart on top of it, so it's not like you're going to have, there's no marketplace.
Yeah, it's very strange.
It's like for e-reading and for...
It's really odd.
HP's
really bizarre.
Own stuff.
I'm not really sure what to think of it. I'm sure as it comes, I don't know. The WeTab, which is the Mego tablet, was also spotted running. It was running about at IFA.
Yep.
So, and we actually have a video.
We have a short clip.
We have a short clip of this. So let's check this out. Let's check out the WeTab.
As I mentioned before, it's running WeTab OS that is based on Mego. This is the home menu with all the widgets. You can add or delete some widgets. On the right side, there's a navigation for the home menu.
So that's pretty interesting.
It's interesting. Looks different. You kind of have to play with it for a while.
Some kind of interesting interface. I'm very curious about Mego. I think that the next crop of Nokia phones are going to be very interesting.
They need to be.
And they need to be.
Yeah.
I think that's what it really boils down to these days. Is it needs to be. It needs to be
because people are really happy. Like I said, we said this last week. People are quite thrilled with their iPhones and Androids. So wait, I wanted to mention that video was from newgadgets.de.
Oh,
happy.
Very nice.
Germans made that little video.
Oh, good for them. So we're gonna skip forward a little bit. We're gonna go to. I want to do Google Instant. We're not going to show the video that Google made. We're just going to do a laptop demo. So Google Instant launched, and I want to show you guys what it looks like. So if I go to Google now, I will, let's go to my laptop camera if we can. So if I'm at Google, I can go ahead and type in, like if I wanted to type in this week in mobile, see how everything starts changing, and it's like, it's all very, very fast. Okay, that's all we need from the laptop.
Results come up immediately as you're typing. Saving 2 to 5 seconds per search.
Right, 2 to 5 seconds per search, and considering how many searches happen through Google per day, that's a lot of time saved.
The average person might save 10, 20 seconds in a day.
Which gives me 10 to 20 more seconds to play games on my phone. Or use Facebook, which just surpassed Google as the #1 used website.
Oh, no.
Did you see that this morning?
No.
I can't believe it.
I don't like that.
Yeah,
I'm canceling it today.
They probably, I'm sure they mentioned that on social media.
That I'm canceling it?
Yeah. No, not yet. Not on Android phones or mobile.
Or iPhone,
but they said fall.
But yeah.
They're going to add instant search to phones in fall.
That's cool. I think it's fine. It's just
I think
Google
it's
is just, they're going crazy. They can't stop. I won't say innovating, but they just
can't stop innovating. You can say it. It's okay. Go ahead.
Not innovating, but they can't stop. I don't know what the word is.
What?
Working? They're working their butts off.
I think it's innovating. I think the word you're looking for is innovating.
But they can't stop whatever it is.
That's all right. It's okay. I accept your apology. So Google Voice also got really nice widgets. I don't want to talk about it more than that because we're going to do a demo, but we have so much more to get to. But if you use Google Voice, and I'm sure many of you do if you have an Android phone, there is now a beautiful, gorgeous widget for Google Voice that will show you your credits and all that stuff. It's great. You should definitely go get it, and you can get it in the market right now. Quick hits. You ready?
Nope.
So T-Mobile officially unveiled the G2. It is coming out October 6th. You can pre-order them, I believe, either today or next week. Tuesday, next week, something like that.
That runs stock Android. It's awesome.
Stock Android. A lot of people are really excited about that. And it's really, really nice looking. I'm excited.
Kind of low res screen, but
It's coming out right around the time the big Android barbecue is going to be in town.
Oh, interesting. I wonder if that means anything.
It might, maybe. I just thought I would mention that if anybody's going to the barbecue, or if you are thinking about it, bigandroidbarbecue.com. That's all I'm saying.
Perfect.
It could be like I.O. if we were speculating, which we did last night when I was a guest on Android Guys Thursday night on their podcast. It was cool. So there are now also over 80,000 apps in the Android market.
I thought there were almost 100,000.
No.
What happened?
No, it's over.
Anyway,
80.
that's great. I mean, what do we have in the iPhone App Store? Is about 250,000.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
They've
had quite a head start.
Yeah, big head start. So, and then October 11th is rumored to be the official Windows Phone 7 launch. They're saying New York City.
Right. And we don't know which device that is, correct?
Not sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess there's gonna be a few. I'm gonna say 3 or 4 major manufacturers.
And hopefully all different form factors there. That would be nice.
App World.
Yeah.
10,000 apps, guys. Good job. Keep chipping at it.
That's BlackBerry. App World for those.
App World, BlackBerry, 10,000 apps. Good job. And then also the Nokia N8 will be for sale officially the last weekend of September.
It's probably the last phone
weeks.
under the reign of OPK too.
Yeah.
The last phone that he oversaw. The last big
The
flagship.
last OPK phone.
So get it while it's hot.
Guess what? It's time for Epic Win, Epic Fail! So this week on Epic Win, Epic Fail, our win this week is, I mentioned earlier, sometimes I see these amazing things online that aren't cell phone related, but they can technically be classified as mobile, and I feel like it needs to be recognized. This is one of those times. Our Epic Win this week is a watch.
Yeah.
Which normally watches are kind of boring. They all do the same thing.
It's not it's not a nano.
It's not a nano. It's and it's pretty glorious. It has magnetic ferrofluid in it.
Yeah, cool stuff.
Yeah, really cool. One of my favorite watch sites, Tokyo Flash, cooked up this little number. They say, quote, it contains a small pool of magnetic fluid, ferrofluid, and when held horizontally, a magnetic backing creates animated gears and moving hands that indicate the time. You have to see the video. Look at this. So Mike got the part with the band. Tell me why.
Well,
let me explain. If you go to the site, if you go to Tokyo Flash's site and look at that video, it's totally flat and there's no surface to the watch at all. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it the clock forms.
Sort of the hands rise up out of the surface.
It's really amazing. I highly recommend that you go check this out.
They couldn't have seen it in the video.
I know.
It's unfortunate.
But you thought the band was more important.
It was an encoding problem.
Oh, yeah, no, we do have problems with that.
It was because it was from Vimeo.
It gets kind of wonky when we encode for that.
It did.
Anyway, it's a really neat watch. I highly recommend if you wear a watch, which so few of us do.
I wear a watch.
Mike wears a watch, and so I feel like it's okay to talk about watches on the show. But that's our Epic Win of the week, and so good job, Tokyo Flash. Keep up the good work.
Another cool watch.
Yeah. And our fail of the week... lots of talk about this week. Yeah. Oh my God, lots of talk about this. Verizon's Fascinate launched this week, which is nice. But Big Red finally got their version. They finally got their version of the Samsung Galaxy S. But big caveat on there: Bing is the default search engine on the phone. Yes. And Bing.
Not just default, you can't change it.
You cannot change it unless you root your phone. Bing is the default on a Google-powered Android phone. And you have to root your Fascinate if you want to install Google search.
Yeah, I mean, what is this?
What?
What is this? This is Verizon.
I'm speechless and upset, and I'm just, why?
Why is there no choice?
Yeah,
it's fine. Okay, default, I get that. Whatever.
The point of Android is openness. Like, why would a carrier say, we're going to neuter your options on search, especially when you buy an Android phone? I buy an Android phone for Google services. Like, that is why I bought my phone, for the integration of Google Voice and Google Maps and navigation. I mean, that's a huge part of my Evo. If I had Bing, what? Like, epic fail. Fail. So much fail. Not okay. Egregious mistake on Verizon Wireless.
That makes no sense. I mean, I don't understand what they get out of that. What kind of deal did they make a deal with Microsoft? What?
They had to have.
For what?
Made some deal to make it the default search, but I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
You know what? Carriers, I'm going to have a little bit of a Lewis Black-like rant. I'm not going to scream, but you guys, please, at least make your bloatware uninstallable without having to root your phone. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing, it's not fair for a user to turn on their phone and not be able, especially on Android, where Android is an open OS. That is the point of Android devices. It's the point of Android. It's not fair to say, oh, well, we're going to force you to have these. Even if you're never going to touch them, they're still going to sit there on your phone and take up space. Horrible. Yeah. Horrible. So much fail. So much fail. Fail. All right. It's a good thing the Fascinate's already rooted. Silver lining.
Even so, I mean, they need to think about the end user, and that you shouldn't have to hack your phone to make it work in a normal way. In a basic sort, it's ridiculous.
Well, and just uninstall things that shouldn't be there. It's just, yeah, exactly. See, Evo Race Car app, just bad. I do not use the NASCAR app. For those of you who like NASCAR, that's awesome that you have an app. But like, let's say you don't watch football. Like I use the the NFL app, or what was the official, like really cool NFL app. Now it's kind of okay. But yeah, I just like, you can't, if I want to uninstall something on a phone I purchased and I pay for my service plan, I should be able to do that. Anyway, all right, let's get away from that.
Maybe someday they'll do this, but it's making some people nervous. It's sort of like becoming like PCs and bloatware. You get it for a nice low price, but it's got all this crap on there that you don't want, and you kind of have to start your phone over from scratch again.
Well, here's the thing. If I could buy an Evo unlocked without all that bloatware and then just use it on Sprint, I would have paid $549 for it. I would pay extra money to have my phone without bloatware. Yeah. That's not rooted where it's basically I can do whatever I want with it.
Right.
Like, that'd be great.
Yeah, why don't they do that?
Or if I pay, $549 for a phone that basically I can then root and do whatever I want with, like without having to deal with like the carrier saying, "Oh, well, you rooted your phone, you violated."
But they don't like that. They want you
whatever.
to be in a contract, I think.
It's stupid. All right, are you ready for the next segment?
Yeah.
It's show us your tips. So, we get requests from time to time to do a quick segment on new smartphone users, and we'd like to help them make their transition a little bit easier, so we have a couple of tips for them. This week's Android tip, setting up a screen lock for your security to protect your phone and its information. So,
that sounds complicated.
Let's go to the Evo Cam, which I think it's right around here. Yeah, oh, that's good. Okay, so let's say you are going to, I gotta pick this because I just reinstalled ADW Launcher. So let's say you are going to, you've just gotten your phone and you want to protect it. So you're gonna go to your menu. I gotta make sure that I don't leave the screen. And then you're gonna go to Settings, and you're gonna scroll down, and you're gonna go to this, darn it, you're gonna go to Security. So you're gonna click on that. And then you can set up a screen lock. And so you have some choices. You have none, pattern, pin, and password. Obviously, you know what password is, you know what pin is, but there's a thing called a pattern if you're not familiar with smartphones. So you can pick a pattern, and it'll tell you you can redraw your pattern, it'll give your instructions. So this is what'll happen. Next screen, here's the example pattern. So it'll give you a little example. So I'm ready to draw my pattern. This is gonna be my pattern right here. Okay, so continue, and it'll ask me to draw it again. And I'll confirm that. So now, when I shut my phone off and come back, it will ask me, obviously it has not registered yet. But anyway.
Wait, what happened?
No, it's, it may not have, I'm using ADW Launcher, so it might be mad at me.
Oh no, this is really going wrong.
Yeah, I think it is. So, but if you stop messing around with your launcher screen like me, and your phone is not rooted like mine.
Oh, see, that's why I don't like that stuff, because it's like your main communication device. It shouldn't be hacked. It should just be working.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, did you just say my phone should just be working?
Yeah.
Mr. iPhone?
What?
I'm not even going to get a debate with you. Okay. I'm going to punch you in the middle of this show, and it's not going to be funny.
Go for it.
I mean, I'll think it's funny, but not you.
I will.
So, but if you are new to Android and you set that, you can then have a pattern unlock or a PIN or a password that will allow you to keep your phone protected and all the information on it.
Just make sure your fingers are clean, or people are going to look at the pattern of your greasy fingerprints and unlock your phone.
Yeah, don't eat French fries. For me, I very much so I think patterns are annoying. Like, I just try to make sure that no one ever takes my phone, and if somebody tries to, I throw it at their face, and then I take my phone and leave.
Good plan.
What's your tip?
My tip is an exciting one. It's about checking your signal strength. Because in the latest 4.1 update, they put back in the so-called field test mode. And now you can turn your signal strength bars into a number, like an actual number you can watch go up and down live as you play with your antenna on your iPhone 4. So the way you do this is kind of weird. You go to the dialer and you call a strange number. You're going to want to dial *3. Oh, what did I do? *3 0 0 1 pound, right? 1 2 3 4 5, and then a pound, and then another star. And you hit call. And now you look, you're in field test mode.
Okay.
And now the signal strength meter, if you can see up at the top, is now a number. It says -76. And the lower the number, the better it is, I believe, or the higher the number.
Okay.
So as you see now, it's up to 88. And if I
can't see anything on your screen. Oh,
up in the
top
corner.
there.
Up in the top corner. Now it says -88. I'm touching the antenna. It's not really changing. If you touch the number, it'll switch back to the signal strength. If you touch it, it goes back. If you hit the home key, it'll take you out of this mode. If you lock it in this mode, you can keep the numbers instead of the signal strength.
Interesting.
So it's
Very
still at
interesting.
88. You've got pretty good signal here.
And I was reading everybody's comments in the chat, so yeah, I did not know that. I guess in 2.2, in Froyo, they added a delay setting to your security lock, and so since I don't use one, let's go back to my Evo Cam real quick. I switched it to immediate so we can see it.
Oh, they in 2.2.
Yeah, in 2.2, if you're Steve Jobs. So there's my screen right there. And so you can do that, and then it'll open everything
That's not
up.
very secure.
Kind of cool.
That's cool. I like that.
But yeah, so if you're looking to take care of your phone and keep all if you've got very private information on your phone.
Which we all do. We all carry our little lives around on this these days.
Very much so. You can set a security lock screen and keep your greasy fingers clean. Mike.
Yeah?
It's time for your game of the week.
Yay! Oh, there's the excitement. Nice game of the week. All right.
I always want you to like do some punching or something.
Some kind of like punching dance
You
or...
should be more lively for that. Anyway,
okay.
What game do you have?
Well, this week I wanted to do a game that had that was open that worked with Game Center that had like achievements or something. So I chose Zenbound 2.
Okay.
This week, and this is cool. This is a universal app. It's from a company called Secret Exit. Let me launch it here. It's a universal app, which means you buy it for iPhone, and it'll also work on your iPad at that resolution. And it's really cool. This is a really weird game. This is basically there's a rope coming off of this sculpture. And what you're trying to do is wrap the rope around the sculpture. As you're wrapping it, it's painting it. I don't know if you can see the color is being applied.
Yes, I do see that.
And so you're trying to wrap it as efficiently as possible.
Okay,
Cover the whole thing
color
up.
the whole thing?
Cover the whole thing. At least in this one, sometimes you're trying to pop little paintballs that are on it.
This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And
well, not ever, but this is pretty weird.
Uses the accelerometer to change the direction the rope is hanging.
Okay.
So you can do it just like this and all around.
I would not. That sculpture reminds me of something you would see in Beetlejuice.
Yeah, and they're like, these are stone, a lot of them are wood, and it just looks really beautiful on the Retina display. These little graphics and a little space inside there.
That is pretty cool.
So now the game is now...
Speaking of Beetlejuice, rest in peace, Glenn Shaddix.
Oh, yes.
Very sad.
That's
Rest in
too
peace,
bad.
Otho. You take that handbook for the recently deceased and you run with it. Okay, back to your game.
No, so that's so this is a very relaxing sort of meditative game like this. It looks beautiful on iPhone 4.
The polygons look really nice.
It's just, and the lighting is beautiful. It's like a little space.
It's very lovely.
Works with achievements, so you can compare your scores with your friends on Game Center, and it works like that. And
That is pretty cool.
Many different shapes, and it's just a great way to pass the time.
That's an interesting little game there.
Zenbound 2, it's $2.99. Sometimes it's $7.99, but I think right now it's $2.99.
Is it on sale?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So now's a good time to get it.
That is a lovely game. Thank you for sharing it with us.
It's okay.
I think at some point I might start doing games, but I'm gonna do ridiculous. Maybe I'll do like bad games of the week. Maybe I'll do like really terrible Android games because there's some really bad ones out there.
Well, yeah, but there's got to be good stuff worth talking about on Android.
Yeah, there's a
besides
few.
Angry Birds.
Well, I mean, I really like.
Oh, you had Galcon. I think.
Yeah, I
that you
really like
talked about.
Galcon, and I really like. I talked about that on the Android app show like a week and a half ago.
But I've never seen any like real nice looking.
Hey, I play
sort of
Cake Mania, Mike.
3D.
Cake
All right,
Mania
why don't you
Celebrity.
talk about Cake Mania?
I'm going to talk about Cake Mania next time.
I mean, seriously, people love that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, lady and gentlemen, that is about all the time we have this week. Unfortunately, I'm sad, but we've got some. I think we've got some potential guests, good guests lined up. We're working on getting guests. It's hard to get them when we broadcast this late at night because a lot of developers, just so you guys know, a lot of them are back east or they're in Europe.
And I burned a lot of bridges
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah. So, and everybody in Europe hates, he's banned. He can't go back to Europe. So he can't go back. But I would, first and foremost, as always, like to thank our viewers. You guys saved me in the middle of the show. Awesome. Thank you so much. And you guys are just all around rad. I love you guys to death, and you guys are awesome. So thanks for coming in and chatting with us. And for those of you watching after our live show, feel free to come in and chat anytime. We're on ustream.tv/thisweekend. Friday nights, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard. Come hang out with us. And I'd also like to thank TriCaster, without whom this show would not be possible. And you can watch previous episodes of This Week in Mobile on our website, thisweekin.com/mobile. You can also follow Mike or I on Twitter. I was featured on Engadget this week as a person of interest to follow who's an Android user. Felt really good.
Someday I'll get on there.
Someday you will. Someday, Mike, you'll make it.
I don't want
They'll be like, Valis23, and I was the first listed.
I think it was alphabetical. But
no, it was not. It was not, sir. Pretty awesome.
Yeah,
so thank
awesome.
you, Engadget. I'd like to thank Engadget for including me on their
sweet.
list after I complained about it the last time when they did their
I know
tech list.
You were hating on him.
I felt snubbed.
Yeah.
I wasn't hating. I felt it felt like not getting an Oscar after putting forth a really awesome movie.
Which you did.
Which I sort of, in a weird way.
In a way.
So if you want to follow us on Twitter, Android Ashley, Mike's Valis23. Pretty easy to remember.
I hope so.
I think Android Ashley's easy to remember. That's
is.
probably why
makes,
Engadget featured me.
And it makes more sense.
That is true.
It actually means something.
You could be iMike.
Oh, maybe.
And you can follow the show at TWI_mobile. You can also check out our other shows at thisweekin.com. We have This Week in Comedy, This Week in Movies, we have This Week in Mad Men, which is great. Like, I've never seen anything like it.
Well, that show blew up.
Yeah. Social media, video games, music, we got everything. And the Streamy Award-winning Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. And don't miss them. I always say there is nowhere else on the internet you will find better-looking hosts who care about what they're talking about. So on behalf of everybody here at the This Week in Network, I'm Ashley Esqueda.
I'm Mike Hobbs.
And that's been This Week in Mobile. Have a great week.